सदाशिवसमारम्भां शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम् ॐ Upadesa Sahasri, chapter 18, verse number 68. Bauddhaistu pratyayairevam kriyamanaischa chinnibhaihi mohitah kriyate jnanam इत्याहुस्तार्किका जनाः. The word jnanam is used in the Upanishad, Taittiriya Upanishad. Satyam jnanam anantam brahma. That jnanam word is debated here. The debate is on the word jnanam. Purvapakshi takes that jnanam as knowledge. I know, he knows, she knows. This is the jnanam. Purvapakshi come to conclusion. I know the pot, she knows the book, he knows, it knows, like that. This knowing process is called jnanam, they say. It has got karma vyutpatti, kartru vyutpatti, karana vyutpatti, bhava vyutpatti, knowledge, process of knowledge, and instrument of knowledge, object of knowledge, any of these you can take. Purvapakshi is asking. What Shankaracharya says, all these are not possible. They do not have any meaning in that jnanam word used in that Upanishad. This jnanam word is used in the Upanishad as Swarupa Jnanam. Swarupa Jnanam means Chaitanyam. Chaitanyam means pure consciousness. That Chaitanyam is used as a Jnanam word. With an Upapada nearby that, Nityam Satyam, Nityam Jnanam, Nityam Anantam. That Nityam word is common to three of them. Eternal existence, eternal consciousness, eternally infinite, eternal Ananda, Nitya Ananda. That is the meaning given in the Upanishad, not the Buddhi Jnanam. That Jnanam what you are talking, I know this, he knows this, known, that means knowing. All these are only the process happening in the Buddhi. In that Buddhi, where the consciousness reflects, Atma, Chit or Atma reflects, Atma Bhasa, Chidabhasa or Chinnibhaha. When that Chidabhasa is there in the Buddhi, it reflects, that Buddhi is able to get this knowledge. This knowledge or that knowledge or any knowledge happens in the Buddhi. Buddhi has got vikara. When every knowledge is going a process, pot knowledge, a vikara, vritti parinama. Pot knowledge goes, again book knowledge comes, again vritti parinama. So vritti parinama is possible in the buddhi. That jnanam is nothing but chinnibhaha. Chinnibhaha means um, that chaitanya pratibhimbam. That pratyaya is a chinnibhaha, in which pratyaya are thought. Pratyaya means I know the pot, I know the book, is a thought. Pratyaya. That pratyaya is associated with reflected consciousness, chinnibhaha. When that chinnibhaha reflected consciousness is available in the buddhi, in that buddhi jnanam takes place. What jnanam? Vishesha jnanam. Chit is samanya jnanam. Chidabhasa associated with buddhi, in that buddhi pratyaya or vritti takes place, that is Vishesha Jnanam. Vritti thought about one thing or other, one object or other. When you look at that object, you get the knowledge of that object. Book knowledge, pen knowledge, phone knowledge, TV knowledge. This knowledge is a specific knowledge, changing knowledge. So Vishesha Jnanam is happening because of OC plus RC plus RM. OC happens to be Shuddha Chaitanyam. RC happens to be Chidabhasa or Ahankara. That happens in the buddhi is the medium RM. Therefore, Tarkikaha, these Tarkaka Janaha, Chit Chidabhasa Avivekinaha, because they do not know the distinction between Chit and Chidabhasa, Mohidaha. Jnanam kriyate iti ahuhu. They say jnanam is done. I got pot knowledge. I know the pot. Like this they say. Tarkika. Janaha laukikaihi api. Worldly people also, laukikaha, also they misled by sthula shariram. Sthula shariram, because laukika's mind is sthulam. Gross mind people, they have the gross knowledge. Tarkikas are subtle minded people, they have subtle knowledge. Subtle knowledge is what knowledge? This buddhi vritti, buddhi is in subtle body. Therefore, because of they have got subtle buddhi, they get sukshma sharira, that until that they can know that buddhi is having buddhaistu. Buddhi only, bauddhaistu is there. Not bauddhas, but buddhi. Jada buddhi pratyayaihi evam. Pratyaya means vritti. Kriyamanaischa chinnibhaihi. The logicians are confused, not knowing jnanam ityadi ahuhu. That is jnanam. Tarkikaha ahuhu. They do not know this process, what is happening. Chit chidabhasa avivekinaha. Chinnibhaihi. Chidabhasa. Because of that, pratyaya comes in buddhi. That is only doing, producing the knowledge. Kriyamanaischa, producing the knowledge. But these people, Tarkikaha, Mohitaha, Santaha, Jnanam kriyate iti ahuhu. Jnanam only, janati. He knows, she knows, janati, because of mixing up of these three things. What are those three things? Chit, Chidabhasa and Buddhi Vritti. Chit can be called as Brahma Chaitanyam or Bimba Chaitanyam. Chidabhasa can be referred to Pratibimba Chaitanyam. Buddhi Vritti is the thought. So Jnanascha, Jnanam, Jnascha, they say Jnanamiti Ahuhu. Jnanabhasa. Sorry. Mohitaha kriyate jnanam iti ahuhu janaha. Up to here we saw in the last class. Now we'll go to shloka number 69. Tasmat jnabhasa buddhinam avivekat pravartitaha जानातीत्यादि शब्दस्य प्रत्ययो याच तत्स्मृतिः. Janati, what they say, ahuhu, janati, he knows, she knows, they say like this. Why they say like this? Because they do not know. Tasmat means the above said shloka. Since Tarkikas are saying, because of not knowing, Jnascha Abhasascha Buddhischa. Jnabhasa Buddhihi Buddhayaha Tasam. Jnascha Abhasascha Buddhischa Jnabhasa Buddhayaha Tasam Jnabhasa Buddhinam. Jna means here original consciousness. Abhasa means reflected consciousness. Dvandva smasa. Among these three, there is a confusion. Tasmat jnabhasa buddhinam avivekat. Because they have confusion. Chidabhasa plus buddhi is equal to ahankara. Aham plus ahankara is pramata. Buddhi plus chidabhasa put together ahankara. So chit, chidabhasa, buddhi. Three components. First we said. Now those three components we can convert into two components. Buddhi and Chidabhasa combine, it will be known as Ahankara. So now we can say Aham plus Ahankara. Ahankara means OC, original consciousness. Ahankara means reflected consciousness plus Buddhi Vritti or Buddhi is known as Pramata. The knower is always a mixture. I am the knower of so and so. Whenever we say that I am a knower, there is a mixture. Mixture of what and what? Aham plus Ahankara. Ahankara formed because of Aham. Ahankara is a mixture of Chidabhasa and Buddhi medium, RM and RC. So this RM and RC becomes Ahankara. In that Ahankara, because of this Aham together, mixture, Pramata, knower. Pramata means knower. We can say in Mandukya language, Turiyam is Aham, Chaitanyam. Pramata is Vishwa Taijasa Prajna. Waker, dreamer, sleeper, knower of three states. So Pramata. So 3 into 2 we convert. Aham Ahankara, Aham Chidabhasa, Aham word we don't use there. Chit, Chidabhasa, Buddhi. Three. Convert them into two. How you convert? Same words you should not use. Buddhi and Chidabhasa together change into Ahankara word. That means Ahankara is a mixture. Ahankara is always a mixture. Mixture means what are all there? Buddhi and Chidabhasa. So Aham plus Ahankara is Pramada. This distinction these people do not know. Pravartitaha Jnabhasa buddhinam avivekat, because they do not know these three components. They use pravartitaha, they have shown or they have taken place. All these are taken place. I know this, I know that. That dialogues will come. What type of dialogue? Janati ityadi. He knows. Janati. Saha janati. He knows. Or sa janati. She knows. Tvam janasi. You know. Aham janami. I know. Adipadat. Shabdasya. Janati ityadi shabdasya pratyayau. Pratyayau means jnanam. That jnanam, I know book, I know pen, I know car, I know the house, pratyayau, or tat smritihi, or remembering. Tasya smritihi, tat smritihi means remembering. Thought refer to the knowing thought. And I know, I remember also. I saw that elephant, I remember. Smriti. Pratyayava, smritiva. Either I remember or I see directly. Smriti is always indirect. We remember in front of that, in front of us that object is not there, but we remember. So smriti and pratyaya. Pratyaya means jnanam va smriti va. Either knowledge will come. What knowledge? Vishesha jnanam. Vishesha jnanam means specific knowledge. That knowledge is possible when there is samanya jnanam. What is samanya jnanam? Shuddha chaitanyam, nitya chaitanyam, chit. What is Vishesha Jnanam? Jnanam is always associated with an object. That is Vishesha Jnanam. Vastu Jnanam. Next shloka. 70th shloka. Adarshanuvidhayitvam Chayaya asyate mukhaihi buddhidharmanukaritvam jnabhasasya tatheshyate. Mukham word is there. You can convert into mukhaye, saptami. Not mukham, but mukhe. Now he gives the example to understand the above statements. Chayaya. Chaya means a reflected face. Adarshanu anuvidhayitvam. Mukha and mukha abhasa. Mukha is not anuvidhayi. Original face will not appear, change anything. But reflected face, if mirror is dirty, face also looks like dirty. If there is a black spot on the mirror, reflected face also will have the black spot on the face, reflected face, not on the original face. Anuvidhayitva means according to the mirror medium, the chaya, the reflected face, will appear. The reflected face appears. Jnabhasasya buddhi dharma anukaritvam. Second line is darshtanta. First line is drishtanta. Adarsya anuvidhayi. Adarsha means mirror. Anuvidhayitvam means appearing according to the mirror condition. How the above confusion take place in this way. That above confusion will take place in this manner is explaining now. Asyate mukhe. Asyate means adhyasyate. They are superimposed onto the original face. The reflecting medium mirror has its properties, dullness. Suppose some cracks are there in the mirror, how your reflected face appears? As the mirror, so the reflected face. Is there any change in the original face? No. But if you superimpose those properties of that reflecting medium into reflected face to original face, it is called adhyasa. Asyate means adhyasyate mukhe. On original face, if you superimpose how it is, reflected face has got some gunas, some properties. Looks, black, or some spots, some crack, all those belong to the mirror. Because the reflected face is available in the mirror, it borrows all the properties of the mirror. Can you superimpose them on the original face? If you superimpose, how it is? Like that, people are superimposing the buddhi dharmanukaritvam. Second line is darshtanta. 70th verse, second line is darshtanta. Tadha, similarly, jnabhasasya, reflected consciousness. Jnabhasa means chidabhasa. Chidabhasasya buddhi dharma anukaritvam. Chidabhasa anukaritvam means imitates. It takes the features of buddhi dharma. Buddhi is in the place of buddhi. What is drishtanta? Mirror. In the place of chaya, we have to take a reflected face, reflected consciousness. So reflected consciousness takes the buddhi dharma anukari. What are all buddhi? Buddhi, in buddhi there are raga, vesha, kama, krodha. All emotions belongs to buddhi. They are superimposed upon the tatha ishyate. They are all superimposed on OC, tatha. Similarly, just as in the mirror, the reflected face borrows the properties of the mirror, they superimpose upon the original face. Similarly, the reflected consciousness borrows all the buddhi dharmas, it follows, it takes, and it is superimposed upon the original consciousness. So original consciousness is I am sorrowful. Really, who is sorrowful? Mind is sorrowful. Buddhi. There are lot of limitations in the buddhi. I have limited knowledge. I don't know this. I don't know that. That I is belong to whom? Not knowing is belong to the buddhi. Ignorance belongs to the buddhi, not me, the I, original consciousness. But what we say, regular usage, I know this, I don't know this, I have pain, I am sorrowful. That I we take to the Vachartha I. Actually, it is Lakshartha I. Chit also is there. In that mixture, Chit is also there. So that Chit is the Lakshartha I. You have to refer to the I am sorrowless. My mind has got sorrow. I, the Chit, am sorrow free. If you say that, you are Muktaha. Muktaha. You are a Jnani. My mind has got likes and dislikes. I am Aham Chaitanyam. I am free from likes and dislikes. So likes and dislikes are bound to be there in the Ahankara. Likes and dislikes never be there in me, the Aham. If I know this, Abhasa buddhis are unhappiness. Sabhasa buddhi. A buddhi which has got abhasa is called sabhasa buddhi. But I am sakshi of sabhasa buddhi, throwing upon me the sakshi. All limitations, whatever. I am old. Whenever we say the old age belongs to which shariram? My body is old, and we have to say. But what do we say? I am old, or I am becoming old. I am feeling feverish. I am feeling feverish. Who is feeling feverish? Body. I am feeling, I say. How casually we use. Atma never get fever. Mind get anujvaram. Body gets jvaram. Okay. Atma never get jvaram or anujvaram. Neither. I am free Sakshi Chaitanyam. This is the highest knowledge. If you know this, the job purpose is over. There is no doubt in that. I am ever free Sakshi Chaitanya Aham. Watching the drama happening in the body-mind complex. What is drama going on? Vyadhi, Jara, Marana, and Raga, Dvesha, all cinema, emotions are taking place. Beautiful drama you are seeing. Okay, beautiful drama you are seeing. Next shloka, 71. बुद्धिस्तु प्रत्ययास्तस्मात् आत्मा भासेन दीपिताः ग्राहिका इव आसन् भासन्ते दहन्ति वोल्मुकादयः. Again example. Lot of examples are given to make us to understand easily. What is that example? Let us see the first example. The torch. Torch means not our battery torch. Teepandam. In Tamil they call Teepandam. In Telugu they call it as Kagada. Firebrand. It has a stick. In front of that there is a cloth, oil cloth, they light up. That is called Teepandam. Ulmuka. It is called Ulmuka. Ulmukadaya. Adipadat, any such type of torch you can take. Ulmukadaya. Dahanti. Dahanti iva. The torch is burning. Torch is burning. Suppose you touch the torch to a cloth, the cloth has got burning, cloth is gets burnt. So you say what? The torch is burning the cloth. Torch is burning the cloth or fire is burning the cloth? Fire is burning the cloth. But what we say? We don't say fire is burning the cloth. Torch is burning the cloth. Why you use the torch? Because the torch has got fire. That fire is burning. Understood. But we use the what word? Torch. Deepandam. That is burning. That house, burning the cloth, burning the paper, burning. Oh, they cannot burn without Agni. Dahanti iva ulmukadayaha. Similarly, like that only with regard to Atma, mutual transference. The burning nature of the fire is transferred to that torch, firebrand. The burning nature of torch is transferred to, this is called transferred epithet. It is transferred to the torch. Like that, mutual transference happens. Anyonya adhyasa. How? Now come to Dashtanta in the first line. Buddhe hetu pratyayaha tasmat atmabhasena deepitaha. That pratyayas which are in the mind, Atma illumining the illumining power. Atma bhasa, Chidabhasa. Atma illumining power transferred to Buddhi. Atma pervades the Abhasa, Abhasa pervades the Buddhi. Buddhi doesn't have illumining the objects. Buddhi cannot know the objects by itself. That Buddhi is knowing because it is pervaded by Chidabhasa. Chidabhasa is pervaded by Chit. So Chit is pervading the Abhasa, therefore it is called Chidabhasa. Chidabhasa pervades the Buddhi, therefore Buddhi, Jada Buddhi becomes sentient, then that Buddhi knows the objects. My intellect, you say, my intellect know this house, my intellect know this car, my intellect know the mountain. You don't say my intellect. I know the mountain, I know the forest, I know this picture. You say I know. But really happening what? Buddhi knows. How Buddhi knows? Because of Chidabhasa. How Chidabhasa helps the Buddhi to know? Chit. Therefore Chit pervades, then Abhasa pervades Buddhi. Chit pervades Abhasa, Abhasa pervades Buddhi. Buddhi pervades what? Object. And it gives the knowledge of that object. Deepitaha means live, shining. What? Buddhehetu pratyayaha. All the thoughts in the mind are Buddhi. Atma bhasena, by reflected consciousness alone. Atma bhasena deepitaha. In that Buddhi, all thoughts are illumined by Atma bhasa. Atma bhasa. Grahika is there, it is better. Grahakaha. Grahakaha iva bhasante. Buddhi is the grahaka iva, appears as the graspers, perceivers. Buddhi appears as the perceiver. Grasper, grahaka means grasper. Grasping power, grahakatvam. Buddhi doesn't have grahakatvam. Buddhi doesn't have grasping power, really speaking. Why? A jada vastu, how can it grasp? How can it perceive? But then how my intellect is knowing everything? Because your intellect became deepita. It is illumined. By what? Atma bhasena, chidabhasena. Once it is illumined by chidabhasa, hmm, what chidabhasa, because of chit, what do you say? Hmm? Grahaka iva bhasante. Buddhi alone is grasping. My buddhi is very, very no, grasping power, no, sharp grasping power, fully false. Tappan our statement. My intellect is very sharp. It has got grasping power, and how many marks you can give to that person? 0 marks. Buddhi can never grasp. Kevala buddhi can never grasp, but it is Atmabhasena Deepita. That Deepita Abhasena Buddhi, Deepita Abhasa Buddhi, what it does, and Grahaka iva, as though it is Grahakaha. Buddhi lends effulgence to sense organs. Sense organs pervade the object. Then world. Object means world. So, see the whole process. In Panchadasi also we saw elaborately. Simple thing, very interesting. So, Chaitanyam pervades the Antakaranam. Chidabhasa happens, to take place. That Chidabhasa pervades the Buddhi. Jada Buddhi becomes sentient. That Jada Buddhi sentient it becomes. That sentient Buddhi enlivens, lends sentiency to the sense organs. The sense organs goes out, pervade the object and see that object and give the report to the Buddhi and mind, then says, I know that object. Whole drama, because of whose blessing? Chit. But Chit nobody remembers. Everybody gives glory to the Buddhi only. Whoever gives glory to Buddhi, they are Buddhus. Vedanta students are not Buddhus. Buddhi has got, it is illuminated, lighted up by the Chidabhasa. Chidabhasa is blessed by Chit. Ahankara, that Atma is the Koti Surya Prakasha. Sense organs illumine the world. Glory belongs to Atma, not neither Chidabhasa nor Buddhi. But Atma directly cannot illumine. It illumines through the Buddhi sense organs by lending Chidabhasa. But who is taking the glory? Buddhi is taking the glory. So torch by itself cannot burn anything like that. Buddhi cannot know anything by itself. But because of Chit, the Chidabhasa takes place, and association of the Chidabhasa, Agni iva, Atmanaha grahaha. Atma cannot be known because it is nirvikara. Grasping, perceiving means there is a vikara. But Atma doesn't have grasping or perceiving nature, therefore it doesn't have, because it doesn't have vikara. Anatma Buddhi cannot know the world. Pure Atma also cannot know the world. Therefore, Siddhabhasa Sahita. At the same time, knowing Vyavaharas. There, Anatma has to become Chetanam. The whole topic is Chidabhasa establishing Chidabhasa. Many people don't accept Chidabhasa, reflected consciousness. Who are all they? Tarkikas, Bauddhas. They don't accept. Therefore, Abhasa Vyaptihi. Anatma has to become Chetanam by Abhasa Vyapti, to know the world. Remember, from morning you wake up, you say, I know, I know, I know, I know. Whenever you say, I know, you don't know what. This I know is pervaded by Abhasa, Chetanam. Chetana, Atma, pervasion. Because of that, I know, I can say. What a wonderful knowledge. Eh? Otherwise, people say, I know this, I know that, I know that. Atma, I am the knower as though through the buddhi. Without undergoing any change, I, the Atma, am the witnesser of the undergoing changing buddhi. Vikara. What buddhi changing? And book knowledge, mountain knowledge, river knowledge changing, no, all the time. 69th sloka, 70th sloka, 71st sloka, 72nd sloka, sloka 72. Changing or not? If it is not changing, you will be in 69th sloka only. Then there is a problem. You have to come to the next sloka, 72. With this, Chidabhasa is established. What Anatma has to, Anatma means Buddhi. Buddhi has to become Chetanam by Abhasa Vyapti. Then only Buddhi can know. So therefore Atma can never be the Pramata. Next shloka, number 72. Now Acharya is introducing, there are some people in Advaita itself, two groups are there. Those two groups are Yudhaya, Yudhyaha. Yudhyaha means in same Advaitins, there are some people who accept Chidabhasa, some people don't accept Chidabhasa. Shankaracharya says, you people don't accept Chidabhasa, means you will become like a Bauddha, Nastika, you want to become like a Bauddha. They don't accept Chidabhasa. Therefore, Shankaracharya addressing those second group of Advaitins who are not accepting Chidabhasa. If Bauddhas come and ask, what answer you will give? If you don't accept Chidabhasa, so what? Chidabhasa not required. You will be in problems. You will face many problems tomorrow in Advaita. Therefore, Yuthyaha, Swayuthyaha means they are, Yuthaha means Samuhaha. Yuthyaha means it's not there in the sloka. Commentators writes, Yuthyaha means belong to the group. Oho Swayuthyaha. Oh, my dear group people. So in one group itself, there are two different views. That two different views, two parties, two groups. Like that, Shankaracharya addressing his own people, like refuting the Bauddha's view to establish the Chidabhasa, Abhasavada. To establish Abhasavada, Shankaracharya has to refute Bauddhas. That is the development is going to take place now. 72 onwards, going in future slokas. Abhasa, and if you don't accept Abhasa later, you have to answer to Bauddhas. You will be in trouble. Therefore, what some Bauddhas say? Saugataha. I'll read the shloka 72. Swayamevavabhasyante grahaka swayameva cha ityevam ityevam grahakastitvam pratishiddhyanti saugataha. Saugataha, another name for Bauddhas. One group of Kshanika Vijnanavadi. You know, many times we use these words. We saw in Brahma Sutra also. Kshanika Vijnanavadi means who talks about the momentary consciousness. According to him, Atma is Anityam. Chaitanyam, Kshanika Vijnanam. What they say, why Abhasa, all these are not required. Chidabhasa, reflected consciousness, all this and all, not at all required. What they say, look into the first line, Swayameva avabhasyante grahakaha. Swayameva cha. Grahakaha means the perceivers, the graspers, that is buddhi along with sense organs. Grahakaha swayameva avabhasyante iti, within inverted commas. They are independently illumine the objects. That means according to them, buddhi is chaitanyam by itself. And it lends chaitanyam to the sense organs. Sense organs become sentient, they perceive, grasp the world. So like the Tarkikaha, Bauddhaha also talk same manner. Iti evam grahaka astitvam. Grahaka astitvam pratishidhyanti. Grahaka astitvam means sakshi chaitanyam. Grahaka means here sakshi chaitanyam. The existence of sakshi chaitanyam, which is the lender of abhasa to the buddhi, pratishidhyanti, they don't accept, they negate. The Buddhists are negating sakshi chaitanyam. Saugataha grahaka astitvam pratishidhyanti. How? Just said in the first line. Iti evam. Iti means swayameva bhavabhasyante grahakaha. They need not depend upon another. They themselves illumine the world. They are self-sufficient. Self-sufficient means we talk about ghatagyanam, patagyanam. We divide this any jnanam into two. That there is a ghata vritti first, then ghata vritti pratibimbita chaitanyam. They don't accept ghata vritti pratibimbita chaitanyam. Pratibimbita chaitanyam they don't accept. We say what? To ghata vritti to take place, thought to take place, you required a Chaitanya Pratibimbita Buddhi required. Means Chidabhasa Sahita Buddhi is required, we say. To know that Ghata thought must come. Ghata thought can come only in the Buddhi. That Buddhi must be having sentiency. That sentiency given by the Chaitanyam. So Sabhasa Sahita Antakarana Dwara Eva Ghata Vritti Vyaptihi. We say, but Buddhist says Buddhi Vritti itself is Chaitanyam. Buddhas say Buddhi Vritti itself is Chaitanyam. Where is the necessity of Abhasa? Vritti plus borrowed consciousness, we say. They say vritti, borrowed consciousness is not required. When they say vijnanam is vritti, which is naturally born consciousness. It is a naturally born consciousness, not borrowed consciousness. Which vritti has got original um, innate consciousness. That is the idea. Swayameva, Swayameva Grahaka. It itself can grasp the things. Sakshi Chaitanyam as a lending consciousness does not require. They don't accept Nitya Chaitanyam. They don't accept Kotastha Chaitanyam. They don't accept Adhisthana Chaitanyam. According to them, there is only what? Kshanika Chaitanyam, temporary consciousness, beep beep consciousness. Disco lights like, no, one point disco lights like beep beep consciousness. Kshanika Chaitanyam in the form of Ghatagyanam comes, then it goes. Patagyanam, cloth knowledge comes and goes. Book knowledge comes and goes. So every knowledge comes and goes. It is the Chaitanyam series. Chaitanyam series, like a serial. Where is the question of Atma lending Chaitanyam to the Buddhi? Kshanika Vijnana Vyatirikta Nitya Vijnana Rupa Nasti. Nitya Vijnana Rupa Sakshi Chaitanyam Nasti, according to Buddhas. Kshanika Vijnana Vyatirikta. Other than Kshanika Vijnanam, temporary consciousness, there is no eternal consciousness. Kshanika Vijnanam eva Atma. So, if we ask without Sakshi, how will you illumine the world? Buddhi can illumine the world. They say Kshanika Vijnanam has got its own prakasha. Self-effulgent. Swayameva avabhasyante grahakaha. Buddhi is illumining because of its own Chaitanyam. Swayameva. Now in 73 verse number, that is refuted by Shankaracharya. Yadi evam nanya drisyaste kim tadvaranamucchetam bhava bhavau hi tesham yau nanya grahyau sata yadi. Kshanika Vijnana is Swayam Prakashaha Anyan Prakashate iti Buddhist. But in our second group, they say, okay, let it be. Why we have to fight with the Buddhas? Without accepting Abhasa, I can accept Buddha also. Shankaracharya refute that. His own group people don't say like that. We are Advaitins. If you accept Buddha, you will become Nastika. Buddha means the people followers of Buddha, they are Nastikas. Why Nastikas? They don't accept Veda. How can you accept their Swayam Prakasha Buddhi? According to Advaitin, Buddhi is Jadam. Inert Buddhi, how can it knows the objects? It cannot know the objects. Therefore, Buddhism is not acceptable. Understand now? Buddha born in our country only. But Buddhism cannot survive in this country. It is a great study again. In Brahma Sutra, second chapter, we saw elaborately. Why we should not keep Buddha's photos? Everywhere, in every office, they keep Buddha photo. They don't keep Rama, Krishna. In our offices, any public government offices, it is a fashion nowadays. Not knowing anything, buddhi illa, that's why they keep Buddha photo. Some people angry, some of you also may be angry with me. How can you say so, Swamini? He established ahimsa in the Buddha nane ahimsa, they remember. So everywhere, backside of any political leader, you see, anyone, Buddha photo will be there. That means what? That person is unfit to live in this country, according to me. Because of Buddha only, all invaders came to this country. Ahimsa, Kanishka, Ashoka, Chandragupta, all of them became Samudragupta, became Buddhists. Even Ambedkar became Buddhist. Why? They don't understand this Sanatana Dharma. They have not understood. Who asked you to fight in Kalinga war? A lot of bloodshed. By seeing that bloodshed, he thought, no, his mind has changed and he took Buddhism. What is this? But for that sake, Sureshwaracharya has to bond and shun all the Buddhist views from the country. That's why they survive everywhere. In Thailand, everywhere, they survive with big statues. In our country also surviving, but we don't give that place to them because they hate Vedas. That is the main reason. Why they hate Vedas? From one Buddha, 4 disciples came, 4 Buddhisms came. See, what a philosophy. From one Buddha, his 4 disciples with 4 different views established Madhyamika, Sautrantika, Yogachara and Kshanika Vijnanavada. All are false. One philosophy Vyasacharya ruled out. How they are false. Even in Mandukya itself, Gaudapadacharya refutes. What is our problem? Hindus do not know neither Buddhism nor Hinduism. They do not know what is what. Only when you come to Vedanta, when you study thoroughly, you understand. But many countries are there, many are following, many people are. Majority cannot prove the facts. The fact to prove only a single person is sufficient, not the majority. So 78 Muslim countries are there. Therefore, Islam is a great religion. Can you say? Religion of peace. In which religion peace is becoming into pieces. Can you say? There are 78 countries, Islam countries. Therefore, Islam religion is so great. You cannot. So look at their history. Similarly, Buddhism also, of course, it is born in this country. Therefore, it is not that much threat like Islam. So Islam is the religion, peace religion, not peace, that religion which makes the peace into pieces. You look at the past history, present history, what is happening also. Therefore, majority is not the question here. Even one Shankaracharya is enough to refute all the wrong views. It's very important to know what is right, what is wrong, what is fact, what is false. That is called knowledge. That is what Shankaracharya refuting Buddhas. They are Nastikas. Joining with them is sacrilege. Don't join. Okay, more in the next class. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavasishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om.